And they busted him.
And, yeah, they arrested him and charged him with being a public nuisance. They wanted to lock him up. They wanted Mum to lock him up, sign the paperwork, and the doctor wanted he'd signed it all to have him locked up.
How old was he when he died?
54.
What?
That's all he was.
I was thinking for a minute there, hang on, I'm probably older than Utes.
And I said to him,
I remember the day of the funeral. I didn't go, I stayed at home. I stayed at the house.
no one even bothered to talk to us about him. They
I caught a fruit lizard that day.
arrested that old
I remember it.
and locked him up. And then Mum had Donna or Sandra, and then he ran away with Donna, and she said, "Oh, I'll have to take him back because he's got Donna." I said, "No, let him keep her." What's that on the back of Ashley's shirt? Is that a pattern?
Yeah, it's just
a skull.
a brand of shaving products. Yeah, it's just meant to seem cool to barbershops and stuff.
Tell Ashley about the murder. He's in a murder serial killers. What about the guy that killed the women and was chopping them up down at Hammett Creek down near there?
Oh, that was, he didn't...
Down at the tannery. And he said he was hunting crabs or some garbage.
No, that was the cleaner at Dixon's Tannery. And he used to be there when everyone was gone. But I used to work there, and so did other girls, just women.
All alone. Your grandmother would be there all alone. Only young, only 30 years old.
This huge place, and it'd be...
Only a couple of years old as Savannah is now.
there'd be no
Same
one
size.
there. No one there. Yeah, I was 26.
There you go, it was Savannah. Had a big factory in the middle of nowhere.
And I'd be working there all night long, and there'd be no one else working where I was, and you'd hear this a room, as
The die drums.
the diagrams turned around and made this noise. And I wrote a couple of spooky stories while I was doing it, and anyhow, I came into work one morning, and they said it was Monday morning, and because Sunday's the only time I ever had off. The rest of the time I was working, but I come in on a Monday morning, and everyone's all strange, and they said this morning at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock they had found the police, one of the other guards that was supposed to look after the place had seen blood dripping out the boot of this man's car, the cleaner's car. Called the police. He chopped up his girlfriend.
The janitor did it. How old was he? How old was he?
Well, he had a son who was 22.
All right, I'd always envisioned him as 50 or something. Yeah, 40s, late 40s.
He had cut her up, and he was going to feed her to the digester. The digester eats all the rubbish, and
It's full of acid.
It's full of caustic.
Yeah, caustic, yeah.
And that's what they make our soap out of, and things like
People
that.
would have been
And
rubbing it.
Would have been, yeah, like Fight Club.
yeah.
That's gross.
And they found a few
The best soap.
a few bits and pieces of the poor thing.
That's why that stuff from Wuhan's really good.
Shush.
And they found a few bits and pieces of the poor girl. One was a breast, and something else. This poor lady, he'd been her girl.
And what happened to him? How long did he get?
I don't know. But I do know this. He killed his daughter-in-law.
As well.
He killed her after he'd already been, after he killed her, they were looking into an old murder.
Cold case. Now they realise he was, yeah.
And but they blamed the son. They said, and he said the son actually rang them and told them at the time, this is going back to it, the son actually rolled them and said, I think my father's killed my
So he's an actual proper
who was about
mass
to have
murderer.
a baby.
That's not technically a serial killer, that's a
Are you
mass murderer.
listening?
Or multiple
She was
homicide.
pregnant with a baby.
Yeah, she was pregnant with the baby, and it was only close, and this poor boy, it was Sunday morning, went down to get the papers and some milk, and came back and found or whatever she was, fiance, murdered. And he rang the police. They arrested him. And when he
They always
told
do.
them, but he said, what about my father? He said he'd been out. For some reason he was out. I don't know.
Was he the
why.
father or father-in-law to him?
His father.
What a
It was
psychotic.
his own father. And his father, they made that boy stay in jail, even although everyone knew that that father was the one who had murdered her. And I said, if he's done this now, I said, he's done this before and got away with it. They said during the war, you know, the
World War Two.
He was picking up all the bits and pieces of the
He was a cleaner.
things.
Bodies. He was the body cleaner
Of the
upper.
soldiers and everyone that was killed. He was doing that. And then he was working up in Toowoomba in a butcher shop and he attacked someone up there. So how could those people...
How many people were fed in the bloody meat minces and served as someone's Chico rolls later on and no one knew it?
Oh, you didn't need it. It was for cleaning products and things.
Yeah, but he did other stuff. A guy like that doesn't stop.
But he was eating, with the bread. That's what I said to them as soon as they told me about it. Irene used to get a lift home from work with him.
Oh my.
And she would have only been 19 or something.
Irene's 8 years younger than me,
She'd have been 18 years old, 17 years old.
Oh my God.
something like that.
With that mongrel killer, he absolutely thought about grabbing her and killing her, for sure. There's no way that didn't pass through his mind.
He used to take her home for something like about, she used to pay him $2 and he'd give her a lift home because he could go that way. And he used, that was for a couple of years or at least.
So if we went that way, where did he live? Down more towards
I've got no
Lyndham?
idea where he lived. I only know where he...
Down near Morgan's Moorings? Morris Marina?
I don't know, Raymond.
Down near the Purwitzers or something like that.
But that's, oh my
What a
God.
scumbag.
It was terrible. It really was.
So if he's 40, we're talking 70, early 70s you're talking, right? You're probably talking about 74?
73,
Yeah, see, I figured the year.
73.
By your age.
72.
So take 20 years off that, would have been 50s. It's possible he was in World War II.
No. There's other wars.
You say it was the Vietnam War then?
What's the name of that war?
Vietnam?
Korean.
Korean War.
Yeah, it's possible.
He was definitely in one of the wars. He wasn't in the war of the thing.
He must have been
was the one
50 something,
cleaning
yeah.
all these people.
The Korean War.
That poor woman, she come from Mount Gravatt. Yeah. I don't know why he killed her, but you know, the man was insane.
Yeah, but to cut up a body afterwards,
Yeah,
how
that's-
insane are you? Like, I couldn't butcher an animal,
No.
you know? I can't crack it. If I crack the egg, I can't eat it.
No, he had to be a clinical.
Someone has to cook it, and it has to be scrambled so I don't see it's an egg.
Darling.
He had to be a clinical psychopath to be able to cut her up, and it's his son's wife, and he's got his grandchild inside of her.
Baby was,
Yeah,
she
his
was about
grandchild.
7 or 8 months pregnant.
Yeah, he's a proper clinical psychopath.
There you go. So your grandmother literally knew him and came that close to...
He could probably had you on his list, man.
Yeah, definitely at some point. They always make lists, Mum.
He was there during the early hours of the morning when I was there doing work.
How many times were you working and didn't notice him peering between the machines and all the pipes? He could just see
Stop
you.
that, Raymond.
He's watching.
Stop that, Raymond.
Wasn't there? But there was no one there from like no
Breathing.
one
And I could see it as winter and the smoke coming out of his breath.
except the women.
Like that.
Probably because you were the only two he didn't attack, man, because it would have been too obvious that it was him.
It's also possible because she had big brothers.
Yes, big
That's-
big
Lots
brothers.
of them that worked there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Same as
understand-
Auntie Irene.
I couldn't.
It's because of
understand-
Colin and Lennon and Uncle Eric and
I
Uncle...
couldn't understand. Everyone used to talk about
Uncle
the
Kerry and that.
bikies. And the bikies that worked there and things. And that.
Yeah,
And
your
these
brother-in-law and
bikies,
their
and I
bikie
didn't know
mates.
Colin was the master at arms,
Sergeant at Arms.
sergeant at arms.
Yeah, of the Black Ewlands.
they were lovely to me, you know. They were really, really polite. And
Yeah.
Nice. And I couldn't understand it until I found out that he was a sergeant of arms and he kept them in order and bashed them up if they didn't behave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what that guy was wary of. He knew that it wouldn't be a cops asking him a question. It'd be your brothers and his bikey mates asking him the questions their own way one middle of one night down near the creek. That creek was literally, that end of that street, it's like literally not even 100 metres from Dix's Tanneries, that creek. At high tide, you could